Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today I'm going to be talking about the ways that Daisy, aka Quake, could be reintroduced into the MCU after what we saw from her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Alright, so with Miss Marvel coming up, who in the comics is an Inhuman, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be mentioned, retconned, just everybody's kind of talking about what will happen with that series based on this show, and I'd like to start this off by saying that there have been a lot of leaks. Yes, nothing's been confirmed, but a lot of these leaks have been consistent, and I believe there was even a storyboard leak from the actual artist that showed new powers that Miss Marvel will have that are given to her basically through a bracelet and not Terrigenesis. So if this is the case, they really wouldn't need to mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Inhumans at all in the MCU, and we've, heard rumblings throughout the years that Kevin Feige is not huge on Inhumans after the failed show on ABC, but it seems like when they were introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they did have an interest in at least building up to something with that kind of storyline, and nothing's really ever happened. There was supposed to be an Inhumans movie at one point in time, but it seems like that got canceled, so it would make sense for Miss Marvel to have a kind of new way to get her powers, but I still do think if they want to bring in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, specifically Inhumans, this would be a great way to do it. Now, I think as far as bringing Daisy back, they could really bring her back anywhere. They could bring her back in Miss Marvel. They could bring her back in The Marvels. They could bring her back in Secret Invasion. And all of these would make sense, but I think the one that probably makes the most sense to me would either be Miss Marvel or The Marvels. Now, when it comes to Miss Marvel, this is a show that, if it follows the comics, will have a heavy Inhuman storyline, and something we've seen a lot with the younger characters in the MCU, or I guess, Spider-Man has been the main one, but with characters who need mentoring or guidance, it seems like they really like to have a mentor character, and since the Inhumans have not been introduced in the films or the Disney Plus TV series yet, we could see Quake being brought in to, in a way, mentor Miss Marvel, and then that somehow transitions into The Marvels. Now, Daisy could also come back in The Marvels, and this is a possibility both with this and Secret Invasion, because those are likely going to, at least for some of the storyline, take place in space, and last time we saw Daisy, she was in space. So I think either of those films could work, but I do think if they're going to focus on kind of like the female team, they could at least bring Daisy back a little bit in The Marvels. But if not, I do think Secret Invasion would be a good way to bring her back, and she could come back possibly with Phil Coulson if he's not already back in the MCU by then, because Secret Invasion is a Nick Fury based show, and I think it would be really good to have Clark Gregg's Phil Coulson return or continue his return with Nick Fury, since those were kind of the two characters that were always around each other in both the MCU films and the Marvel TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a few times, for those of you who don't know. So there's definitely a possibility for her to come back in any of those properties. But the big question we have been having with what some sites and scoopers have been saying is that we'll get the return of these characters, but it'll be a soft reboot. And honestly, I think the soft reboot is really going to be based around kind of not really touching on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm going to do another video about this, but I do think they could, in a way, reboot Daisy's character just by not really having any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mentions come up. Now, I know a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, including myself, would like to see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be referenced, but I do think, no matter where you fall on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spectrum, it would be a lot for some fans who maybe didn't know about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or they didn't want to watch it because they didn't think it mattered, to bring up storylines that were on another network, not on a Disney Plus or anything, and then tell them to go watch 7 seasons to catch up with a character. I really do think it'll be something where they bring Daisy back and they'll be like, oh, she experienced this a little while ago. She's an Inhuman too. Here she is. Let's introduce her back into the MCU. Give her a storyline that doesn't really connect to anything from the past and kind of start her character over, but not contradicting anything that happened. That's what I imagine a soft reboot would be, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So that's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.